It's time for one of our annual mid-season rituals, the St. Catherine Martin Luther King Day Girls Basketball Invite. I'm Mike Peden. We've got 6 games this year from the Butler Center at St. Catherine University in St. Paul. We begin with the Stewartville Tigers, a 2-time Class 3A semifinalist, and the Becker Bulldogs riding a 5-game win streak, hoping to play spoiler in Section 5-3A. Once again, I'm Mike Peden. Here I am all by myself talking to myself. That's chaos theory. Stewartville had a slow start, picked up some big wins, including one over Goodhue and Byron, a conference and section rival. And Becker, their 5-game win streak includes a victory over Rock Ridge. The starters for this game: Stewartville, the home team. It will be Catherine Jones, Dakota Shindelar, Audrey Shindelar, Jayci Rath, and Kylie Minnick. Becker will start Adele Changamire, Andie Changamire, Josie Ruckelberg, Juliana Staw, and Tess Brown. No Lauren Kroll for Becker today, but don't worry, she has what is called an excused absence. She is participating in a national choir event with Becker, wants to continue singing and choir work in college, so not the greatest of timing in terms of basketball, but the coach is more than supportive of her endeavors. Stewartville, you recall, I should say, well, technically they're a 2-time semifinalist, but they finished with a silver medal in 2023. I wanted to get that in there before everyone comes after me. Jayci Rath, the junior, has verbally committed to St. Thomas. Audrey Shindelar has verbal to South Dakota State. So a couple of D1s and a couple of future conference rivals, actually, as Stewartville wins the tip, and we're underway. Becker with the rock. Here comes Adele Changamire, the freshman, the elder of the 2 Changamires. As Becker swings it around, 3-ball, corner pocket. Tess Brown gets us started. Becker will keep an eye on the field goal percentage. I had a chance to see them against Hill Murray at the Breakdown Tip-Off Classic. Same thing with Stewartville. Stewartville, in their case, suffered a loss to Alexandria after the Cardinals were able to work their way out of a deficit. Becker, if they shoot well, they're in contention. If not, they could run into trouble. Becker all over Stewartville up top, 5 to shoot. Here come the Tigers. They get it opening for 3, and that's short. That was Dakota Shindelar. Rebound, Josie Ruckelberg. Becker, of course, a beast throughout the late 2010s and early 2020s. Several players from that group, of course, now in college. So now rebuilding with the Changamires. Knocked out of bounds, the ball is. Still early, 16:37. Becker did not reach the state tournament last year, lost in sections. It was Stewartville who upset them in 2023 in the semifinal round. Becker was the 1 seed, Stewartville the 4, if I recall. Andie Changamire, 3 to shoot. Becker coughs it up. Stewartville will take over. So these 2 teams, even though they haven't played each other a lot, they do have a little bit of history. Of course, the teams from 2 years ago, a little different than the teams they have now. But these 2 have found a way to stay competitive in spite of all the changes. As we get a take to the rim, Audrey Shindelar unable to convert. Becker sizing up perimeter shot. Now Andie Changamire goes baseline. Foul. Staw draws it after collecting the O-board. Still early. Both teams getting themselves settled. That was a good setup to a cutting Tess Brown, but she couldn't get the layup to drop. Now Stewartville on the move. Shindelar, this is Danica. Can't get the floater to fall. Both teams having a rough start percentage-wise. Becker the only team to get one in the cup. Now Adele Changamire will go to the line and try to get a couple from there. Adele hasn't been that hot shooting-wise, shooting .326 and 51% from the free throw line. It's been a struggle, but she does generate the bulk of defensive coverage against other teams. But she and her sister, big basketball fans. You may recall they have two pets named after Anthony Edwards and, well, I should say Jimmy Butler in My Amor. They probably will get a pet named after Anthony Edwards at some point, if they don't already. It's 4-0 after Adele splits at the line. Shindelar around and in. Danica Shindelar with the bucket. Has a few inches on Adele Changamire. Brown trying to go baseline. Ball knocked out. It will stay with the Bulldogs. Sta to Andie Changamire. Andie suited up last year. Of course, we're seeing more athletes suiting up in 7th and 8th grade. Adele Changamire's three sails right. Rebound collected by Jayci Rath. Stewartville 11-7. Becker 7-7. Stewartville played 2 days ago. Lost to Benilde St. Margaret's for the third straight time at the Casson Manorville invite. The Changamire's trying to hook up. Ball goes off of Stewartville. Or did it? From here, it looked like it went off of Adele. And the sideline official comes in to, I think, confirm what I saw. But I'm up here, not down there. So my calls aren't the one that stand. It is Stewartville ball, 4-2. Jones thought about it. Now they go inside. Rath hesitates and lays it in. Oh, we've seen that happen more than a few times this year where teams get caught in a mental lapse on an inbound and Stewartville will get a free ball. Shindelar. That's Audrey. Danica's 3, Audrey is 4. We'll be calling their name quite a bit. Becker swarming the perimeter again. That's going to open up Danica for a baseline attack. Stewartville with their first lead. Becker looking for the high-low. That didn't work out. Adele thought about a three. Didn't have the shooting space. Andie working the lane. Goes up. Count it. Andie Changamire, just an 8th grader, but already leading the Bulldogs in scoring. 18.4 a game. 77% free throw shooter. She and Adele still working on their three-point shot, but the two have provided a foundation that perhaps could build that Bulldog Breakfast Club into another ferocious pack, just like they were a few years ago when they won a state championship in 21 and qualified to several other tournaments, reaching the finals in 2019 and 2020. Of course, they didn't get to play out the 2020 championship because of you-know-what. But Becker does take the lead on that three-point play, and swooping in for the takeaway is Reckelberg. Touch three. Short. Rebound collected by Addison Ruffridge. Now Becker getting after it. Stewartville in southern Minnesota, around the Rochester area. Becker, you'll find them up along Highway 10. Dead ball rebound to the Tigers after the missed three. 12:49 left in the first half. Game 1 of 6 here at St. Catherine, where the weather is all kinds of warm. I can't say the same for the outdoors. Audrey Shindelar, the skip. Sadie Romans didn't have an option. Ruffridge unable to score. Becker swings it out. The runner is short. Stewartville will pick it up. Coast to coast they go. Ruffridge with the finish. Ruffridge, the junior. She's been a part of this Stewartville program for a while. Andie Changamire's three is short. Stewartville with an 8-7 lead as Rath brings it up. Rath trying to lob it. Pass wasn't received cleanly, so a reset is coming. Now Rath, the southpaw, just skims the front iron on the three-point attempt. Andie trying to go coast to coast. Rath with the block. 11:23 left in the first. Stewartville had won 3 in a row until the loss to Benilde St. Margaret's. And both teams playing the front end of a back-to-back. Becker gets Monticello tomorrow. Monticello, one of the top teams in 3A. Stewartville will play Casson Manorville. Both in the same conference. Andie Changamire drains the runner. 9-8 the score. And a timeout. Becker calls it. Back and forth in the early going.
When the high school season is over, TSP Television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsptelevision@gmail.com.
9-8 the score. Becker and Stewartville meeting for the first time since that showdown 2 years ago in the Class 3A state semifinal. The players are a lot different, though. Becker had that potent starting five, and Stewartville also going through a few changes. The coach is different, actually, as Audrey Shindelar drains the short-range pull-up. Tanner Tighe taking over after Stewartville's run to the championship. And then he got them back into the semis where they face Benilde St. Margaret's again. Becker looking for the corner three. Andie can't get the reverse to drop. 10-9 Stewartville leads, and I have to correct myself. I mentioned 3 straight times. Benilde St. Margaret's has won 4 straight meetings. They have met twice in the last 2 years. Another corner three. This time it's pure. Ruckelberg hasn't been able to get that three-point stroke going at the rate she would want, but that could go a long way as Becker retakes the lead. A pull-up from the elbow, off the rim. Rebound secured by the Bulldogs. Here comes Brown. Ruffridge cuts her off. Here's a three from the key, and it rattles in. for Ailey Murnack. Becker with their largest lead of the game. Stewartville working the post. Luffridge can't get the finish. Andie, the 8th grader, looking for Adele. Adele wasn't quite in position. Dead ball rebound to the Tigers. In terms of players up front, Stewartville would seemingly have the edge with a pair of Summit League verbals in Rath and Audrey Shindelar. And shooting free throws will be Audrey. Coincidentally, Stewartville, up until this recent run, had never reached a state tournament. Audrey, a track and basketball athlete. The unquestioned offensive leader for Stewartville, averaging over 22 a game. An 82% free throw shooter, so missing the front end is not something you see often. And overall, doing well, shooting 45%. 15-11. Under 9 to play in the first half. Touchdown pass. Leads to a layup for Juliana Starr. Becker giving Stewartville a battle. Stewartville and Byron will likely face each other in Section 1-3A. Becker in a tough section as Rath scores on the turnaround. They've got Monticello, who is in their conference, and Totino Grace, who reached the show last year despite not having one of their top players. Ball knocked away and scooped up by Audrey Shindelar. Lobs it to Rath. She's trying to go inside again. Kicks out. Jones for 3. It's there. And Stewartville cuts the margin to 1. Just like that. Starr to Andie Changamire, through the lane and in. Give a player an open lane, and Andie and Jordan Cook, who will be with us a little later, will run right through it. Jones starting another set. Audrey. Minnick gets the rock, moves in, throws up what seemingly looked like a prayer, but it goes in, and that's what counts. (19-18). A fun battle to kick off the 2025 St. Catherine MLK Invite. 3 on the way. Bullseye. Ailey Murnack makes it 22-18. Stewartville looking for an escape. They work their way back outside. Minnick. High lob. Too high. Andie Changamire almost ran into one of her own teammates. And she'll want that pass back. It happens to the best of us, though. Keeble. That was Danica Shindelar, I should say. There is Keeble from the key. Looked like she was going to move for an attack. This is a deep 3, and that goes out. Of course, an extension of range is something we have seen throughout girls basketball since the mid to late 2010s. It started with Steph Curry and Caitlin Clark, and now everybody wants to shoot the long ball. Andie, speaking of long balls, just grazes the front iron there. Dribble drive. And a charge. That was number 12 of the Bulldogs, Addison Petty, taking one for the team. Stewartville had a rough start to the season. Lost one to Rochester Lord, Jordan, and Alexandria. Alexandria reached the 3A semis last year. They're expected to be a contender again. Then went on a 6-game win streak. Lost a close one to Montemedi. Had a tough time with Minnehaha Academy. A lot of teams do, though, these days. But they've turned things around. They got that first win over Byron. They'll have a second meeting. And, of course, they will likely face each other in sections. Danica to Audrey Shindelar. She pulls up and will shoot two. Tanner Tigey calls Audrey the engine that makes us run. Started at point guard last year. And her shooting touch, a big reason for Stewartville's success. She converts the freebies. Becker up 22-20 with 5 minutes exactly remaining in the first half. Much like Stewartville, Becker had a slow start. They lost their first 4 games. And Stewartville gets another free ball. They can't turn it into a 3. Becker, they've had a couple of turnovers. Ball deflected. And the Bulldogs will have to burn a timeout as Adele Changamire was trapped in the corner. 4:48 left in the first half. It's still a tight one, 22-20.
When the high school season is over, TSP Television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsptelevision@gmail.com.
A quick timeout for Becker. We're back to action here with 4:48 left in the first half. Becker winning 5 straight. They lost their first 4 games and then dropped a conference battle to St. Francis. Monticello will be a huge barometer for them, the first of 2 meetings. Becker will host it, part of a doubleheader. Adele Changamire, her 3 is offline. And the rebound finds its way to Danica Shindelar. Rath, one-on-one in transition, too strong. But Stewartville with a few trailers. Becker staying on top of it. It's turning into hot potato. Stewartville with the ball again. But we're seeing some feisty play out of the 2 teams. Even though their game from 2 years ago is long in the memory banks. Rath fakes, moves in with the shot clock winding down, but left it soft. Those are the plays you really want to convert, especially with Becker holding the upper hand. Last year, Alexis Rose ushered in this transitional phase. Andie Changamire called for traveling. Now Adele and Andie hoping to take command. Stewartville, another chance to tie or take the lead. Audrey Shindelar goes back out to Minnick. Audrey, driving kick. Danica, the 3, short. Andie Changamire, she has been everywhere in this first half. Drive was disrupted, tried to force it, I think. Didn't work out. Blocking foul call, that will go against Adele Changamire. No, I stand corrected. I thought it was Changamire. It was Murnak who was called for the contact. Nice move. Rath collecting the inbound and moving in for the layup. We're tied at 22. And a battle of 3A perennials. One trying to regain that status and another in Stewartville riding this wave. And Dakota State takes a ride all the way to the rim. Stewartville, even though they didn't reach state until 23, I'll get to that point in a minute, because Eileen Murnak is feeling it from three-point range. And you look up and down this Becker roster, they aren't known for three-point prowess, marksmanship, compared to past years. But they're falling right now, and that's a big help for Becker as they lead 25-24. But Stewartville is home to a former Miss Basketball winner. You got to go back to 1993, though. And Becker swoops in for the steal. Murnak getting harassed. Becker will settle down. Bulldogs putting in a spirited effort. Arguably the underdog in this matchup, but you get a win here, and that might continue this upward trajectory. But again, Becker had a slow start last year. Came on strong. They get the steal. Here's a 3. Murnak can't knock it down. Remember, the gray line is the three-point line. The purple line is the college line. Spin move for Rath, and she can't get it to go. Jayci has left a couple of those plays empty. Andie Changamire with the catch. And she misses after she was wide open. Stewartville blew by. So both teams trading buckets they would have liked to have. 40 seconds left in the first half. A close game. Minnick for 3. Gets the Plinko bounce. Stewartville retakes the lead. Shot clock is off. Adele. Over to Andie. That ball pinballs off of Jones's head, but she comes up with it. Has a trailer. And Dakota Shindelar scores on the fast break. Adele lets it fly. Yes! A three-point buzzer beater. 29-28. These two teams can't shake each other off. It has been back and forth, a tight-knit affair. A quality win is on the line for these two, and possible state tournament seeding should these two make it to the Final Eight. We'll take a break and come back for the second half. This is the St. Catherine MLK Girls Basketball Invite. Stewartville leads Becker 29-28.
Twin City Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
All right. Ready to start the second half here at the Butler Center, St. Catherine University. Mike Peden with you for the first of 6 games. St. Catherine MLK Invite. Stewartville leading Becker 29-28. The first half numbers. Unofficially, Eiley Murnack, 9 points off the bench, 3 triples to lead the Bulldogs. Andie Changamire with 7. For Stewartville, Dakota Shindelar has 8. Audrey Shindelar and Jayci Rath have 6. It has been back and forth. Both teams have made some plays. Both have also left a few plays short. Effectively, they cancel each other out. That's why we have a 1-point game. Becker did use a couple of timeouts. This would be a big win for Becker, and it would also be a big win for Stewartville. Becker looking to make it 6 straight wins. Stewartville, they've taken some lumps just like they did a year ago, but you may recall they made it to the state tournament and reached the semifinal round. They're looking to make it 3 straight trips to the state tournament, and that will help. Audrey Shindelar steals the inbound pass. Stewartville couldn't quite get set in. Catherine Jones unable to handle the dribble cleanly. That took away a possible fast break option. So now Rath will score going across. And Stewartville up 31-28. Largest lead for either team has been 6. Reckelberg running another set. Stop. Becker swinging it around. Stewartville zoning up. Becker doesn't have a true big. They've pretty much operated without one ever since they got back in the picture. Becker with a couple of chances, nothing doing, and we'll have a reach-in foul on Tess Brown. Becker, 2 state championships in their school's history, 2007 with the Masti Twins, and 2021 with a group that included the likes of Adeline Kent and Julia Bankson. Marty Westeen, Martin is her name, but she was known affectionately as Marty while she was here. Stewartville scoring down low. Jayci Rath giving the Tigers a couple of buckets in the paint. And now the Tigers holding their largest lead of the game. Andie Changamire, the step through is through. Stewartville located in Olmsted County, Becker in Stearns County. And both love their basketball. Becker might like this play. Stewartville fouls Andie Changamire and she'll shoot 2. Andie with the steal, and what's the saying? Make him earn it. Jordan apparently is a celebrity. Again, you'll hear from her in our next game with Cloquet and St. Croix Lutheran. Right now, we've got free throws for Andie Changamire, who's shooting 77% from the line. The free throw line, that is. She and Adele, both multi-sport athletes. For Adele, it's soccer, basketball, and track. Or Andie, that is. And Adele, the same thing. Her favorite restaurant is Chipotle, which is a popular choice among breakdown guests and others. Andie converts the freebies, so it's 33-32. Andie. On to Reckelberg, as you saw, Stewartville turned it over on their last possession. So a chance for the Bulldogs to reclaim the lead again in what has been a tight battle. Andie fielded it, but drew a lot of coverage, finds an open Adele, and she misses the layup. Andie leading Becker in scoring as an 8th grader. Stewartville gets fouled. Audrey Shindelar, the leader for the Tigers. Rath averaging 13 a game. Both teams effectively have pairs in terms of leaders. And Murnack will check in for Brown. They aren't keeping track of the foul tally on the board, and they're not announcing it, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. I know the coaches are, though. Dakota Shindelar tried to scoop it in. Could not do so. Adele on the attack. Looked off balance and lost it. Rath lobs it to Jones. The pull-up, swish. Audrey Shindelar with her first bucket of the second half. 35-32, Stewartville in front. Adele had the opening for a second, but Jones closed in on her quickly. Andie nowhere to go. Becker swings it back out, trying to work through this zone. Entry pass. Becker, extra pass. A foul on a three-pointer. Dakota Shindelar had the block but ran into Eileen Murnack. There was a similar play at this event a year ago that allowed Duluth Marshall to beat Holy Angels in double overtime. And that is one of the most frustrating fouls you can take. You have to give shooters room to land. And Murnack, who had 3 triples in the first half, is at the line. Averaging 4.7 a game. Not a ton of attempts at the free throw line. 9 of 15 coming in, so that's 60%, but admittedly a small sample size at the midway point of the season. Just past midway, actually. Murnack gets all 3 of those. We are even at 35. Stewartville working that ball around. Becker playing man, it looks like. And Adele Changamire swipes it away. She's got a helper alongside. It's Josie Ruckelberg. Becker retakes the lead, 37-35. How much more can these two teams go at it? Not necessarily the favorites to win state, but they certainly have a good chance of getting there. And once you get to that Final 8, who knows? There isn't a runaway favorite. Audrey Shindelar cut off. Shot clock was winding down, but it won't matter. Stewartville throws it away on the errant pass. Cloquet and St. Croix Lutheran will be our next game if you're following along on the TSB television YouTube channel. Jordan Cook will be with us for a couple of games, including that one. And later on, we'll see Duluth Marshall at this event where Chloe Johnson has made a name for herself, one of the top prospects in the country for her class, already on the watch list for ESPN Hoop Girls. Ruckelberg. Stewartville with the double. And the Bulldogs have to use another timeout. That's the second time they've had to burn one, owing to a player being pinched off. 37-35, Becker with a 2-point lead.
Mic'd Up Sports is TSB Television's talk show series. Available on all major podcast platforms, we offer sports figures, past and present, a place to convey stories and adventures on a deeper level than our traditional game coverage. Whether you're a superstar athlete or someone who works behind the scenes, we'd be honored to share your story. If you'd like to be a guest, contact us at The Mike Peden on all major social platforms.
12:35 left in the second half. Eileen Murnack, 12 points. That's a season high for her. Unofficially, of course. Andie had a 30-point game earlier this season for the Bulldogs, as they will get possession again following the timeout. But not for long. They throw it away. Audrey to Rath for three. Off the rim. Rebound tips its way to Reckelberg. Andie turning on the accelerator, but needed a little more English. Danica lets it fly. It's long. Adele, that's Andie, I should say. That's Adele. I'm sure that's happened more than once to broadcasters who gain the luxury, the privilege of covering those two. Rath using her length to tip that pass. Stewartville had a chance for a fast break, and once again, this has been the story. We've had a few missed opportunities. By the way, Andie's 30-point game came against Sartell St. Stephen during the Granite City Classic. That was a close one. Baseline pass intercepted. Adele drawing the double again. Stewartville keeping an eye on her. They might want to keep an eye on Murnack, though, as she gets an epic Plinko bounce. Forget basketball. Take up Plinko. Make some money. That three-pointer was money. Speaking of money, Audrey Shindelar drops a three. Stewartville takes a timeout. 11:07 left in the second half. 40-38. Well, Jordan, I know you're going to be calling the next game, but what are you thinking so far about this one? This has been tight. It's been really good. Oh, you can turn on that mic. Why don't we bring you on for a little guest spot here? She'll be calling our next two games with us. You'll see here at Minneapolis North if you haven't already, but you don't get to see teams like this too often, so you'll see a few more. What do you think that adds, and how do you think that illustrates the depth of talent of basketball in this state?
I think it elevates really good, just getting the ball up the court, rebounding, and seeing everyone do their thing.
Is there anyone you like from this game so far?
No, not that I see right now.
Not that you see. Well, Murnack has 15 points from my count, and you'll probably hear a lot about Audrey Shindelar and Jayci Rath, who are going to play D1 basketball,
Yep.
and maybe Jordan will get to play D1 someday.
Yeah.
I know she's still sorting out some offers here. So Jordan Cook, again, she'll be with us for our next two games. And maybe we'll bring her on for some timeouts or if she has something she wants to add. But she's ready to go. And we're ready to return to action. 40-38. Becker leads by 2 after both sides exchange threes. Adele with a kick out. 3 on the way. It's there. Juliana Staw and Becker knocking down their threes. This could give them an opening. Largest lead for either team has been 5. No big runs. Just a lot of back and forth action. 3-ball, quarter pocket. Audrey Shindelar with back-to-back threes. And that balloons her total to 14. Kickball. Stewartville will take over. Rath. Used up the dribble in the high post. Audrey sees a lane, attacks. Left it short, Stewartville. They've had some trouble knocking down shots from inside. Becker caught out of position, and the Tigers take the ball back. (43-41). Stewartville takes another timeout with 9 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second half. So a couple of timeouts in quick succession. Well, Jordan, if you don't mind, why don't we have a little more preview with you? So 9:20 left. I know you and I have been talking earlier. You're still sorting out your college plans, but what do you make of your basketball journey so far? Started at Cooper, finishing out at North, and what have you enjoyed about being a basketball athlete?
Just getting to know everyone and connect with people, rebounding, running the floor, boxing out.
And is that normally your position? Because I think you're, 6'1"?
Yes.
So how have you handled that? I know it's something some folks I know who are on the taller end of things, sometimes it takes a little while to get used to the length of your bodies. How about you?
Just stretching my body out and eating proper foods and drinking proper things and doing what I need to do.
But no one's giving you a hard time about it?
Nope.
Well, it's a good thing, because if they do, just remember, you can box them out.
Yep.
9:20 left in the second half. 43-41. Jayci Rath missing another runner. Stewartville got a couple of buckets in the paint early, but the inside game hasn't gone as smoothly as I think they would like it to go. They're getting after it, though, on defense. Another tip pass. And this time, Audrey Shindelar takes it home. Becker swings it back out. Murnack needed a moment to gather the dribble. That took away a three-point option. Andie fires. She's short. Rebound, Stock kept it in play. Another turnover on the Bulldogs. Rath lobs it to Shindelar. Back out to Rath. The kick out for three. Grazes iron. Ruffridge. Rebound. Put back. Just her second putback, but it could be a big one. Andie into the lane, but nowhere to go. Stewartville with numbers again. The pull-up goes down for Audrey Shindelar. And Audrey with 18. Seven minutes and 40 seconds left. Stewartville up by 4. Side out coming up for Becker. We've seen these teams exchange brief runs. Becker lost it again. Three-pointer was tipped. It will stay with Becker. Under 7 minutes to play. Three on the way. It's short. Ruffridge gets the block on Staw. Addison coming up with some big plays. Rath around the lane and in. Stewartville up by 6, their largest. And they've scored the last 11. Becker throws it away. Adele couldn't locate Reckelberg. Stewartville trying to extend the lead. Jumper is offline. Bulldogs swinging around. The 3, swish. It's Reckelberg with their second tray, and Becker gets a much-needed bucket as we enter the closing stages. Audrey Shindelar. Ruffridge got the high-low. It was a quick-moving play, but nothing doing. Andie Changamire pinched off, and Becker only has 2 timeouts left, so Andie will bounce it off a Stewartville player to keep possession. That's a common strategy. Blocking foul called on Stewartville. Both teams had several to give. That will reset the shot clock to 20. Becker swings it around. Late foul called as Andie Changamire was seemingly cut off. Andie will shoot 2. That was ruled a shooting foul, and we'll see if Becker can cut into this margin in what has been a close game from the beginning. You've got Murnack, unofficially 15 off the bench, a new season high, and still leading the Bulldogs. Andie making a count at the free throw line. Minnick goes to Audrey Shindelar. Another turnaround for Rath, and she draws the foul. Rath to shoot 2. The St. Thomas Verbal, a hybrid 3-4, has traveled to 6 countries and also enjoys golfing. .441 left. Rath makes both. Becker underneath gets the tough layup to fall. That's Murnack, who has been cruising all game long. 1 point game, 51-50. Shindelar can't get the bounce. Adele into the lane. She'll shoot 2. Adele missing the front end, just 4 points today. Averages 15.1. It sometimes takes a little bit of doing for her to get there. Maybe hasn't come up as quickly as Andie, but every journey is different. Stewartville in transition. Minnick with the bucket. And that is a big one. After Becker missed a pair at the line, 53-50. Under 4 minutes to play. Becker with 2 timeouts by my count. Stewartville with 3. Foul on Stewartville. That's their last to give. Three ball, that was Murnack, that would have tied it. Battle for the board, won by Audrey Shindelar. Audrey, by the way, scored her 1,000th point in the first game of the year. Stewartville able to get the cleanup in transition. Sadie Romans trailing. And that could help Stewartville going up by 2 possessions as we approach 3 minutes. Stewartville out of fouls to give. They swing it around. Murnack, side fade, tries again, drains the 3. Eileen Murnack, unofficially 20 points. And I would imagine that would be the first 20-point game of her career. If we get a stoppage, maybe I'll look up the numbers in a little more detail, but Becker getting a huge source of scoring off the bench. Turnaround. Rath gets the finish. She has had a great second half. 16 points for Rath, 18 for Audrey Shindelar. The margin is 4. Murnack, now she's drawing the double and gets fouled. And Becker in the bonus, so the free throws coming up. Eileen Murnack. Well, this is her first 20-point game, but she blanks at the line. Again, that's if the numbers are where they are. And now Stewartville will shoot 2. It's Sadie Romans. Romans didn't score until that putback just a moment ago. Shooting just 52% from the line. And with 2:01 left, these could be a pair of big free throws. Stewartville, the home of Richard Warren Sears, the founder of Sears Roebuck and Company, and the city named for Charles Stewart. Romans splits. So it's a 5-point game. Cross-court pass taken away by Audrey Shindelar. This could be the dagger. Audrey with 20. Another takeaway. Rath reading the lane this time. Stewartville, they can lay off. Audrey pulls up. Went for the knockout. Becker still has a lifeline, but they need a score in this possession. They led by as much as 6. Murnack, short. Stewartville gets the rebound, and they can work the clock now. Becker still had a foul to give. Stewartville will take a timeout with 1:10 left. 60-53. Jordan, what would you make of Stewartville's closing push here these last few minutes, turning a tight game into a 7-point lead?
They're doing really good. I see Brett can have a comeback if they just go up very aggressively and have some steals.
And what I noticed these last couple of plays, they came off of turnovers. Stewartville able to read those passing lanes. Being a player yourself, what goes into that? How do you anticipate a pass when you see a cross court or an entry pass that you might be able to tip your way?
Just being ready and being in your stance to get that tip, and then sprinting off to make that layup.
So they've got a couple of timeouts left. 1:10 to go, and when you're in a close game like this, you've been in your share of them with Cooper and North. Well, Thursday's game, that was a tight one until North went on that 13-0 run. Where do you find that extra gear to make that run like Stewartville is here?
Just staying in your stance. Don't get in your head. Just still be aggressive with what you're doing.
Well, Stewartville certainly not letting this one get to their heads. Tigers trying to hold on. Now, they had a couple of timeouts there, so this will reset the 10-second rule to get it across half court. Becker out of fouls to give now. Dakota Shindelar gets fouled. Becker doing what they can to extend the game. But with 1:04 left, it's not looking great. Dakota Shindelar shooting 1-1, 80% free throw shooter. Averaging 8.8 a game, the freshman, Audrey the junior. Blanks. Becker, they can't afford a turnover now. They need a bucket with 59.8 left. They still have 2 timeouts. So if they score here, they could stop the clock. Reminder, the clock does not stop at the high school level for a made basket. I suspect if you get a bucket, you may take a timeout to stop the clock and give yourself as much time as you can. Stewartville covering the perimeter again. Becker trying to get open for a 3. Now Andie takes it inside, lays it in. Becker will hold on to their timeouts for now. They'll play the foul and chase game. Andie goes up to 15 with that bucket. And this is still 1-1, but 33.5 seconds left. The shot clock is off. And Becker still trailing by 2 possessions. So you have to hope Stewartville will brick at the line, get a quick score, and then take a timeout. But Jayci Rath, an 83% free throw shooter, that's difficult to do. And she makes both. I think that's going to do it with 30 seconds left. Adele Changamire, her 3 is short. Stewartville gets the rebound, less than 20. There's the foul, but Stewartville is going to snap the 5-game win streak for Becker and add another win They'll have a light February, just 3 games before they get ready for section play. Danica missing the front end of a 1-and-1, but there's not going to be enough time. Murnack can't get it to go. And Stewartville will run out the clock. They get the final push at the end to win 62-55 over Becker. It was a close battle throughout, but the day belonged to Stewartville. We'll see if we can get a word with some of the Stewartville players before we go to our next game, which is St. Croix Lutheran and Cloquet. This is the St. Catherine MLK girls basketball invite. Stewartville starts the day with a 62-56 win over Becker. We're joined by Audrey Shindelar of Stewartville. Audrey dropped 20 today, and the future Jackrabbit helping Stewartville hold off Becker in a tight game from the start. Audrey, this was a close one. Where did you get that final push to pull away?
I think when we went into the zone, we just really started having a lot of movement on defense and just held them to a few points, and then had a couple fast breaks that really helped push us to the win.
What would you make of this season? Stewartville, kind of like a year ago, slow start, but you've picked up some big wins since then. And how have you weathered some of those early bumps?
Yeah, I think lost some games, but they've been some good teams that we lost to. So just learning from them and getting better, and yeah.
Now in this one, Becker, they made it a fight. Eileen Murnack hit a bunch of threes. You mentioned switching to that zone. When you're in a tight battle like that, and you've been in this situation before, how do you get through it when it seems like neither side can get an edge on the other?
You just got to stay in it mentally and then just keep working hard and it'll come.
And you mentioned switching to that zone helped out. You had a couple of steals that turned into buckets. Jayci also had some big plays. So how do you pick up on that timing, and how do you think that defense played a part in this victory?
I think anytime you play good defense, it just leads the offense, so I think that's what happened.
You've been a part of the state tournament runs the last couple of years, making it to the championship round 2 years ago, the semis last year. How have you and Jayci and the others, past and present, how have you helped Stewartville become a place where girls basketball can thrive?
I think just me and Jayci, we learned from the older girls before us and just hope to do that to the younger girls now and just keep making Stewartville a good basketball place.
And you've got a couple years before you put on that South Dakota State uniform. But what excites you about getting to play at that next level and then having Jayci as a future conference opponent?
I'm super excited. I think it's a great opportunity, and I think it makes it so much more fun that I'll get to compete against Jayci. Always been on her team, but I think it'll be fun to see her. But yeah.
Well, you've got a few more games left together before you have to worry about that. Before we go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Yeah, hi to my family and teammates.
Well, hello, family and teammates. Audrey, thanks for stopping by. Congrats on the win, and best of luck as you finish out the year.
Thank you.
Audrey Shindelar of Stewartville will have more coverage from the St. Catherine MLK girls basketball invite shortly.